be honest, I would rather work abroad and settle there rather than here in the Philippines. I mean, ang daming advantages in working abroad. So, in terms of like the infrastructure, let's say if you talk about transportation, etc., the ease of working in the government, and even even though mataas yung tax rate sila compared sa atin, pero you can really see the benefits of this higher taxes being imposed to the locals, to the taxpayer. So I mean, yeah, I would say mas marami yung advantages versus disadvantages if you will be working here in the Philippines. So yeah. I think meron namang ibang ways para ipakita mo yung pagiging to show your patriotism to your country even though you're based abroad. You can still contribute to let's say from your home country. How can you develop in many ways? I mean, there are like, for example, OFW association, let's say in a certain country, and then they have like outreach activities. I mean, they do liaise with the Philippine Embassy. So I think hindi naman magdi-diminish yung love for your country even if you're based abroad. Honestly speaking, I would say I think it's not fair. I mean, it's really, for a local firm, if you see competitors working with an international firm, it's really gives them a big edge. There are two parts here. So first is, if you're working with an international firm, so you'll be provided with like global tools, etc. Like if they're using automated audit tools, so that would be a huge advantage for the staff, because instead of using like maybe like Word document or Excel, so they are better equipped with let's say global tools. Then the second part is in terms of exposure with the clients. So let's say this international firm has a working relationship with the headquarters from another country, and they have a branch here in the Philippines. So there will be a higher chance that the contract will be awarded to their counterparts here. So that's more of like the advantage of working with international firms. But I would say advantage of those local firms that are not associated or affiliated with the international firm is that, yeah, because the fee is really cheaper, but I guess the quality is not really that different. So I think that's for small and medium entity companies, they would still prefer to go to these local firms without an affiliated international firm. I think we still need to, because it's also from the angle from the business, because if let's say their the auditors from their headquarters is more familiar with their business process, etc., and controls, the counterparts auditors from their branches, they can leverage on the information that they have let's say learned from the let's say head office. So I would say, and even probably from the I would say maybe a cost perspective in there, especially if you're the top 500 company, having been audited by a big four, that also gives them an advantage. So if you compare it with a unknown local accounting firm or auditing firm, so yeah, I think it's really fair and required. And yeah, from the business perspective, it's really, I think, justified. I think that's really the trend. And then, gaya na sabi ko kanina, as long as, let's say, if there are like whistleblowers from these firms that they feel that, nagiging parang dami local leaders na lang yung mga partners in the firm. And siguro, kung pwede mag-intervene yung government, pwede naman siguro. Pero yun nga, I think mas malaki pa rin yung advantage versus disadvantage ng working or being affiliated with the um, international firm. I mean, yung political issue or concern naman is not really unique for an accounting firm, but kahit sa ibang professional industries, I'm sure may mga ganitong political issues. I think yung restriction is sufficient pa naman kasi kung wala yung ganitong restriction, I'm sure mas marami sigurong international firms ang associated sa mga local purely local firms kasi ang requirement kasi from the law is for partnership, hindi talaga pwedeng magkaroon ng foreign ownership. So as long as they can prove that all the local partners are really Filipino citizens. And I think if that restriction will stay, I think we're still, I mean, even for the local, smaller accounting firms, they will still be protected. Probably it will be worse if that restriction will be lifted. Even yung mga, let's say, Big Four, kung let's say kung may mga whistleblower talaga within this Big Four na override ang management, and kung merong, let's say, avenue from the government na pwedeng mag-file ng let's say issues na bypass sila ng management. So I think that would really be a big help. To a certain point, I would agree because I mean, but even if that's the case, I mean, meron namang non-disclosure agreement. So let's say kung makakuha ka ng let's say sensitive information, the company can still sue this Big Four. Let's say if there's a data leakage issue, etc. So ang daming regulations and standards for accounting firms, so not even for local, even for let's say from the US SEC requirements and international requirements. So I think sufficient naman yung controls in a Big Four to make sure that data is really protected and cannot be misused for national security issue. Definitely, malaking role pa rin yung accountants in terms of sa pag-recover. And siguro, kung meron lang akong parang observation is sana yung government is maging supportive. Kung may mga, let's say, audit findings from either private or government auditor. So, kasi parang if you're like let's say, if you're a high school student or let's say, if you're already part of the accountancy education, and then you'll be hearing this like threats, etc., from both public and private individuals. So I think kung meron lang sigurong encouragement from the government, I mean, we should not be afraid to speak up kung may mga gaps or control issues talaga within the organization. So yun. Yeah, I mean, I think for COA, it's not even just for the current administration. They've always been vocal, even for the past admin, and I think they're really doing a good job. Nakaka-proud. I mean, especially yung threats na nanggagaling from outside. I think it's not really an easy job, and yeah, something that's really, I mean, coming from the same profession, and hindi biro yung ganung trabaho. So wag lang siguro silang paggamit sa mga sa mga politiko na may mga personal gains. Siguro yung misconception kasi ng mga tao na porket accountant ka is magaling ka sa math. And yun yung lagi kasing sinasabi nila. So accountant ka, so magaling ka sa math. So hindi required na magaling ka sa math kasi for one, may calculator naman and basic plus minus naman ng accounting. And then may mga Excel tools naman, etc. So hindi kailangan na magaling ka sa math. So in terms of skills, kailangan nandun yung patience mo na matuto, etc. sa mga logic, and then yung understanding talaga ng accounting concepts. And yun, be prepared to sa pressure, in terms of especially po nagdi-discuss ka na sa, let's say, management, or let's say if you're in an internal audit, sa internal management, and if you're working in an external accounting firm, then you should be ready to face pressure from your external clients. So yeah, and ang daming mga disagreement ang mangyayari, pero in the long run that will help you improve your career, like your professionalism. Integrity, yun yung hindi pwedeng mawala, kasi if kung wala yung integrity, then sino magtitiwala dun sa report na sinasubmit mo sa board or even sa government.